Well, we are back here once again with you, live on Facebook, YouTube, and X this evening. Of course, we have severe weather moving across the state. So I wanted to go ahead and trigger another live broadcast here. Come on in here with you, let you know what we're expecting to see. Of course, as you're coming into the broadcast, if you would not mind, tap the share button at the bottom portion of your screen. It seems as if there are a lot of folks being caught off guard by the weather that's occurring this afternoon and evening. So if you would not mind, tap the share button, help us share this video out on your news feeds. That way your friends and family can view it. Of course, throw a like on the video if you feel so inclined. Of course, we do have a few severe warnings to talk about right now. So let's go ahead and pull up the radar here and kind of show you what we're looking at. Let me move all this to the correct places here. Thank you again, everyone that's liking and sharing. How do you stay so calm with severe weather? Because I know at the end of the day, as long as you're informed, most times you're going to be okay. All right. So across the state, what we have going on right now is a group of severe thunderstorm warnings down here approaching Bowling Green area, but not quite there just yet. Russellville, Lewisburg, Dunmore, Elkton, Trenton, Pembroke, Oak Grove, all under severe thunderstorm warning. Could have just made one big box here, but there's actually 4 individual warnings there. And again, these are for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and the possibility of a tornado possible. You can kind of see that on the tag there. So again, that's all those warnings: Russellville, Lewisburg, Dunmore, Elkton, Trenton, Pembroke, just east of Hopkinsville now. I do want to show you that on the MRMS data here, when we look up rotation tracks, we are seeing some rotation tracks with this entire line. Most notably, actually, up here toward southern Indiana. No current warnings up there this time. So just kind of keeping an eye on that for now. Of course, we focus more so on Kentucky, but the rotation tracks are showing up. Now, remember, rotation does not always equal tornadic activity. It can equal downburst of winds, heavier rains, whatever it may be. All right, so just wanted to point that out there that yes, this line is rotating, but so far it is struggling to produce anything tornadic because we are simply lacking the storm fuel needed to really produce tornadic activity. Now, I do want to say before we dive into everything here that a brief spin up tornado is still possible at some point with this line, but it's still overwhelmingly unlikely because, again, as much as this continues to move east, we are starting to lose a little bit of the sunshine that we did have. These lines are beginning to merge together. They're starting to go into, this also plays a big factor in storms like this as well. The height of eastern Kentucky really tears storms like these apart. So again, I do think we have, a bit of a severe risk, obviously, for certain areas, right? Obviously, from where we are at now, and then tell about this area right here. And then once the storms kind of get past that, so this is really the area I'm kind of looking at for a severe risk. And then once you get past that out here toward, like, let's choose a different color here. Out here toward eastern Kentucky, yes, there is still a severe risk, but I think it drops off quite a bit, if I'm being honest with you. I think it drops off quite a bit. Now, also to note, it has been raining in this area, storming, and let's choose like red or something. It's been raining and storming in this area for hours and hours. So there is some negative storm energy there. Basically, it's going to help to try and mitigate the main line. What is the main line? The main line is this one that you're seeing that's currently warned pretty much everywhere, at least in this middle portion. This is your main line. It's starting to get really messy, so it's starting to get hard to kind of see it. But this is that main line that we've been talking about. So again, this is that main line that has the 35 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts with it, and in some cases, it's going beyond that up into the 60s on the mile per hour scale there for the wind gusts. Okay, so that's your main line there. And again, I want to show you the outlook for today from the Storm Prediction Center. Where did it go? Does not include any tornado risk for Kentucky. Obviously, we have seen one tornado warning so far. You could have argued that there should have been another tornado warning out there in Western Kentucky as well toward Clinton, Kentucky, where when you went back on the radar, there was some rotation. You could have argued for a couple more tornado warnings, but they were very borderline. I will tell you that if we have more storm fuel today, I would be much more concerned. Much more concerned. There has been plenty of times where, especially the middle half of that line. So again, kind of this line from Beaver Dam to Morgantown to Russellville, that portion of the line there, that's basically the southern half of Kentucky. That line has been rotating almost as soon as it entered Western Kentucky. Now, thankfully, the rotations have not been able to really develop into tornadic cyclones because, again, we are lacking the storm fuel. You have to have storm fuel, guys, in order to really get things going. We're just lacking that. Here is the StormNet AI for the wind risk. Why is it all over there? There we go. Here is the StormNet AI for the wind risk. Basically, this is going to try to highlight areas where there may be a wind risk tonight for anything greater than 58 mile per hour on the wind scale there. It does start to lighten up, or does start to brighten up around the I-65 corridor there. I think it's a little bit brighter out here toward eastern Kentucky, but I still have some doubts about that. Of course, AI is still not perfect. Here is the tornado risk from the StormNet AI. You can see it's very low in Kentucky. It just has a faint line there. And then again, it's going to try to tick it up out there in eastern Kentucky, but I really doubt that. I really doubt that's going to occur. So I just wanted to show you this, the tornado risk overall is very low today, from the AI to the SPC to our forecast. It's all either 0% or like 1%. So it's very, very, very low today. The true main concern continues to be damaging winds, as we've been preaching on for what has been a couple of days here. And again, right now, so far we've seen, so you can see what's happening with that line. So if you look at this map here, this is from the Kentucky Mesonet out of Western Kentucky University. And this is tracking the live wind gust, the peak wind gust since midnight of last night. And you can see that along the line and behind it is where the higher wind gusts have been so far, because that's where the line has been through. Matter of fact, they've had 50, 54 mile per hour wind gusts up here to the northwestern corner of the state toward Owensboro, 35 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts. So the wind gusts are definitely the real deal. And I expect those to actually increase a little bit as that line moves east until it passes along the I-75 corridor. Sorry, that dinner I just crushed is trying to fight back. Until it gets along the I-75 corridor. And then that line should begin to weaken as it gets out there through eastern Kentucky. And the SPC's map kind of matches that as well. So I'll show you this. This is the general outlook for today. And you can see it pretty much goes to about the I-75 corridor, just past it. And then once it gets into eastern Kentucky, the risk drops off. So again, that's our thinking. That's the SPC's thinking as well. The SPC, again, being the Storm Prediction Center out of the National Weather Service. So again, if you're just not tuning in here with us, hello, welcome in. First of all, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for sharing and liking the broadcast, helping us to spread our information out. Thank you very much for your help with that. You guys play a massive role, so thank you. We do have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings now active for Russellville, Lewisburg, Dunmore, Elkton, Trenton, Guthrie, Oak Grove, and Pembroke, Kentucky. And again, that's the portion of the line that's been kind of rotating this entire way. I'm actually going to switch over to the goodness gracious, I'm just like lost for words. Close range models or models. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Local radars here. Sorry, local radars here. I've got so many things going through my mind. And you do see some spikes there. Let's go ahead and measure some of these wind gusts that are occurring. Some of those spikes, we're seeing those yellows, 63, 66 mile per hour there, just southeast of Russellville, just east of Guthrie, 69 mile per hour there. So some impressive wind gusts are starting to come through. Maybe not quite that strong. Some of the model or some of the radars can overdo that sometimes, but still at least 60 mile per hour wind gusts occurring between Elkton, Guthrie, Russellville, Lewisburg, and that will continue to push to its east. Let's check on the northern half of the state now, where there's a lot less rotation happening. There's not any rotation up here on the northern half. So if you're in like Litchfield, Grayson County, Breckinridge County, B counties, and you're seeing those storms right now, there's really no rotation at all. These are all straight line winds that are occurring. And you can see they are quite gusty though, 50, 55 mile per hour. Surprised we're not seeing any more severe thunderstorm warnings coming out for these areas. It's just in front of these lines. So you can see where the better wind fields were. If I actually put these side by side, let's do the split view here. I put these side by side. So we have rain on the left side, wind on the right side here. And I just kind of want to show you, kind of line this up if I can. Oh, the stream's gonna cut it off. Anyway, let's do this. Let's draw. Here are where our strongest wind gusts are right now in central Kentucky. You can kind of see those are actually just in front of the line. So if you look on the left side, that's the rain. Right side is the wind. The strongest winds are just in front of the line by about a few miles. So you're actually going to hear and feel the winds before the storm or the main line actually arrives by about a few minutes or so. So just a heads up on that. All right. Take off the split view here. Go back over to our radar. Just want to show you. I mean, this line looks to be intensifying a little bit here. If I kind of want to show you the overall view here, if I put it into motion, kind of zoom back out a little bit, kind of put it into motion over the last few minutes or so. Again, this is from about 6:30 until about now. So over the last 40 minutes or so, You can see how the reds have gotten a little bit deeper there. The line looks to be intensifying a little bit, at least on the rain side of things. There was a brief severe thunderstorm warning for Corden, Indiana, or near there. So again, that part's tracking into Louisville, so we're keeping an eye on that, of course. Let's actually take a look into that Litchfield camera and see if we can see anything there. The rain's kind of covering the lens there. My window capture is not working. Let's go ahead and fix that. There we go. Yeah, the Litchfield, but you can see the cloud base there. Nice clouds covering. I mean, very low. You can see the clouds. If you can look real, I mean, it takes a really good eyesight here. But if you look real close, you can see those clouds are swirling a little bit there. But again, not anything too crazy happening there. Again, that's the camera from Grayson County Emergency Management. They are allowing us to use their camera there. Thank you to those folks for investing in that camera, keeping their county safe, and helping us to forecast a little bit better here. But again, that's the camera out of Grayson County, giving us a good eye on what's happening with that cloud deck there as it's rolling through. Some of the water on the lens is making it a little bit difficult, but you can see the overall theme of the clouds. Very low hanging, a little bit of swirl action there, but nothing really crazy happening. Again, if we have more storm fuel today, I would be a little bit more concerned because this storm line, absolutely, it is rotating. But again, without the storm fuel, it's not really being able to take advantage of the rotation. All right, let's go ahead and check in back on these storms down here in southern half of Kentucky, where there's a little bit of more severe activity occurring. Still seeing those 60-mile-per-hour plus wind gusts showing up in Russellville, just south toward Lewisburg as well, Guthrie, Elkton. And again, this portion of the storm line is moving in toward Bowling Green, Franklin, Kentucky. So we're keeping an eye on that. But right now, no real rotation showing up anywhere in the state, which is really good news. This looks to be mainly straight line wind gust at the moment that we're seeing. See here. By the way, I know before I get to some of your comments, you're going to ask about timing and impacts expected. Here's the graphic that we made yesterday. It still looks to be very on point right now with timing, with impacts expected. So again, take a look at that. It'll probably answer a lot of your questions on what to expect. Again, just want to point out, damaging winds on the main threat here. There may be like a 0.5% of a chance of a brief spin up tornado occurring. It would be very weak, very brief, very spin up-esque. We're not looking at anything strong, significant, or violent today in Kentucky. This is a minor storm system in all facets of imagination. But it is our first severe thunderstorm system in what, a month or so here. So again, it gets a little bit more of the highlight. And of course, any storm system in Kentucky in the wintertime always gets a little bit more of a highlight. If this was happening in the spring, no one would really be talking about this all that much, honestly. But since this is happening in the wintertime, a little bit less storm activity occurring now, it gets a little bit more of the highlight here. But overall, guys, I do want to point out this is a minor storm system. Damaging winds are the main threat. We've been seeing the gusty winds all day. You'll see a brief punch of winds with the storm, with that main storm line there that you see on your graph or on your graphic there right now. But again, overall, guys, not a major storm system. So I want to calm some of your fears there. Not a major storm system by any means. Just a lot of rainfall and a lot of winds. And cold air behind it may lead to some snowflakes tomorrow. Maybe even some brief dustings for some folks. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But I'll get to a few questions now. I'm not going to go into the whole what's happening in my backyard. You guys know the drill on that. We'll be here all night if I'm answering every single city. I love you guys to death. That's the reason we make the graphics and all that stuff. So hopefully you can have all the information already kind of in the back of your minds. All right. Victor, hello to you. Again, I want to reiterate that the impact and the risk is the same for everyone in Kentucky. So even if I were to answer, what's happening in my city tonight, it would be the same answer for every city. The only differences would be the time frames. Yes, Mandy, the two storm lines are merging together right now. So they should be merged, probably fully merged in about an hour and a half or so. Thank you, Jana. Well, Freeman, we got you covered over there. We got you covered with all the information. No, right now, I'm not seeing any rotation on the radar, Caitlin. That can change, of course, but as of this moment, when I just went through that radar scan there, I didn't see any rotation at the moment. Tornado warnings one day, snowflakes the next. Welcome to winter in Kentucky, my friend. All right. Take a look back through the radar here, see if we're seeing anything mischievous at all. Northern half of Kentucky, this is all very clearly straight line winds. No rotation there at all that I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and check on the southern half here. Yeah, this is very clearly straight line winds. I'm not seeing any rotation anywhere at this point. very clearly all straight line winds at this point. And that should be the case. The deeper we get into the night, what little tornado threat we may have had at one point continues to drift off and off and off, and we continue to increase the damaging wind threat. So again, even as we head deeper into the night here, the damaging wind threat still prevails, and whatever tornado chance we did have, which was not much at all anyway, that continues to drop off. It's a messy radar, though. It is a messy radar with a bunch of rain and winds on it. I want to say thank you for all the shares, all the likes, all the comments, questions. Thank you guys again for all of your help there. Renee, thank you for your 50 stars on Facebook. I appreciate you. Again, those donations are not required at all, but I do appreciate you. Okay. Let's see here. That was a big spiel. Okay. While we have a moment, I'll show you the brief snow chance for tomorrow morning. So again, we have our storm line going through now on the model data. Overnight, we may switch to some snowfall by tomorrow morning around the morning commute between 4 to 7 a.m. Maybe some light snow showers. I hate to tell you guys that are wanting to see even a snow flurry happen. I hate to tell you guys, it's the same spots that keep getting the snow all year. North Central Kentucky and then Eastern Kentucky. It's the same spot that may see a few coatings. I mean, again, some models are having quite a few coatings. Again, you can kind of see these blues are 1 inch. So, hey, up there in Northern Kentucky, where you've already seen several inches of snowfall this December, you may add another ½ inch or 1 inch to it tomorrow morning. Again, would not surprise me at all. Don't take this map 100% verbatim. It's going to shift a little bit. It's going to be weird. It's going to be very isolated, very brief. You can see how small those 1 inch accumulation marks are. So again, don't take it 100% verbatim. Like I think earlier the model showed 1 inch of snow in E-Town tomorrow morning. So that's shifting all over the place. It'll be very brief, very hit and miss. The more north you are, the better the chance you have at a coating of snowfall for tomorrow morning. But I don't see it being a major deal. Go and check on the RRFSA model and see what it's showing as well. And you can see it has a pretty different idea. Very much less snowfall occurring. Here's the NAM3K model for late tonight going into tomorrow morning. Similar to the HRR with the spread out, but still very light. So again, not expecting any real major impacts to it. Again, the more north you are, the better chance you have it may be a coating of snowfall. So again, I know I've seen it talked about a lot, so I wanted to kind of just clear that up. Not a major snow event tomorrow at all, guys. It's just that little bit of backside snow flurry action that if you get lucky and see a couple of those snow showers, you may see a coating out of it. Because again, this is a part of a cold front, so temperatures are absolutely going to be crashing behind it. Let me show you those. Let's go ahead and take up the RRFSA model and kind of show you some of the temperature action that's happening. So here's the temperatures valid for about right now. You can see the storm line's already kind of impacting the temperatures there. And as we advance this on forward, by tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up and it's going to be in the upper 20s and low 30s. So by the time you leave for work tomorrow morning, go to school tomorrow morning, whatever it may be, Friday morning, it's going to be quite a bit of a different feel, right back to that cold. But don't worry, because we warm right back up. I mean, look at the temperatures by Saturday. 50s for West Kentucky, 40s for Central Kentucky. And then as we go into Sunday, again, temperatures continue to warm back up. So again, it's just a brief little cold front coming through here, making us realize winter is not over. It hasn't even begun yet. Again, a lot of people don't realize that winter is not technically begun yet. The winter doesn't start till December 20th. So again, just keep that in the back of your minds. But yes, we have another severe thunderstorm warning for Bowling Green, Plano, and Franklin. That's going to be a continuation, I suppose, of this warning back here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the radar and see what we're looking at there. Man, it is pouring down rain here in Radcliffe. But again, yeah, no rotation happening at all down there. Not even a hint of it. Let's go and check up here in the northern half of the state. No rotations happening up here, by the way, as well. This looks like, I mean, you can kind of see it for yourselves. I mean, just look at the map here. And then we'll just draw a line and you can just see it's a straight line. Now, if we were looking for, which obviously means, by the way, straight line winds. Now, if we were looking for anything tornadic, any tornado warnings anywhere? Let's look down here. Yeah, that's messy. Anyway, if you were looking for anything tornadic, you would be looking for like little bowing or little commas or anything like that. Maybe like this one up here, for example, in Indiana. But again, I see nothing like that happening in Kentucky right now. Just to clarify, I don't see any rotations happening right now. This looks to be mainly straight line winds. Oh, my chat didn't update. There we go. Again, I just want to reiterate again, tornado odds look extremely low, like 0.1% low. Again, I have no concern for tornadoes. You shouldn't have any concern for tornadoes. Yes, I know it says possible tornado on there. I'm not really sure why though, because there's not even a hint of rotation anywhere near there. I mean, so just real quickly, do you guys see in this yellow boxes? Do you guys see any green happening or any dark gray? No, there's not even a hint of rotation anywhere in there. I really wanted to hammer that point home for anyone that may be scared about anything traumatic happening down there toward Bowling Green or Franklin. Again, there's not even a hint of rotation there. Alicia says, if I'm in a single wide trailer and we have a severe thunderstorm, should I go to my storm shelter? Absolutely. Single wide trailers are the number one things that get hit by, I mean, even 45, 55 mile per hour winds can damage those things. So again, I will always say yes to anyone that lives in a trailer that has a severe thunderstorm warning. You always go to a shelter. Jessica, thank you very much for the update there. Again, I'm not going to answer what's happening in everyone's city, guys. The map and the graphic is here. This has already been posted on our Twitter and Facebook. You can go check that out if you need more information on that. Again, if I answered every single city, guys, there's 120 counties in the state. We'd be here all night with y'all. And I love y'all to death, but this is why we put the time into making these graphics. So we hopefully makes it pretty simple for you guys to see what's happening and what to expect out there. Right now, we're kind of focused more on what's happening, like literally right now. Which is again the severe thunderstorm warnings in Bowling Green, Plano, Franklin, Russellville, and Lewisburg. Again, for 60 mile per hour winds. Yes, it does have a tornado possible tag on it, but again, just to kind of hit home, there's really not any rotation happening down there at all. There may be a little bit of a notch happening here, but that's on a radar, on this radar down here in Nashville, and the Hopkinsville radar doesn't show it. Louisville radar doesn't show it as well. So again, really no concern down there for me right now when it comes to tornadic activity. This is all pretty much straight line winds. Going to be a bit further north in eastern Kentucky. Have you noticed that? Jason, that more so has to do with the jet streams. And more so has to do with timings on storm systems. I mean, obviously that was the occurrence this year, but you'd have to have that happen for a few years in order to say, hey, that might be expanding. Pierce McIntosh, welcome in, my friend. That's correct, Laura. You have a severe thunderstorm warning down there for southern half of Warren County for 60 mile per hour winds. And again, just want to reiterate, it does have a tornado possible tag on it, but I'm just not seeing any real rotations down there. So again, just wanted to point that out. Nice gust of winds through Grayson County, heading in toward Breckinridge County as well. About to enter Western County, or Western Hardin County, I should say, toward Brownsville, Bowling Green, and Franklin. Again, this is pretty clear cut straight line winds at this point. I don't see any rotations at this point. Let's see here. Check out the camera from Litchfield. Again, this is courtesy of Grayson County Emergency Management. Thank you to them for letting us use their camera. A little bit too much rain going on to see what's happening right now with the cloud deck there. Let's look into E-Town and see if we can see any of the cloud deck. We do see some, but it's so look how quick those clouds are moving. I mean, this storm line is hauling. It's moving at about 50 to 60 mile per hour or so. So it's almost moving as fast as you folks that are driving on the interstate right now. This is in E-Town looking over the I-65 corridor. I believe it's pointed to the south here. You can just see the top edge, or the top half of the camera, or the bottom edge of that cloud deck there. It is rolling through. Very, very low clouds with this. And they are definitely spinning. But again, we do lack any real storm fuel. So again, my tornado concern is not there. It's not there. Is it impossible? No. But my tornado concern is not there for tonight. That's correct, Corey. Yes, Star. Again, I do want to point out this storm line will hit everyone in the state. Everyone. I mean, you guys see how long the line is, right? You guys see how long that line is. And it's going to hit everyone in the state at some point. So that's why I'm not really answering questions as well about what's happening in my city, because it's going to be the same exact answer. You're going to see a brief period of very heavy rains, a brief period of some more increased wind gusts, and then it's out of there. And then you got cold air sweeping in from behind. So again, that's part of why I'm not answering the what's happening in my city, what's happening in my backyard, because the answer is going to be the same, guys. It just the only difference is going to be the time frame, depending upon where you're at. So that's really it. And then once this main line passes you here, this back main line here, your threat's over. Just want to look at real quickly. I want to see. Yep, you can already kind of see that cold front starting to push in. These temperatures will drop even more. It's 47 out there in Crittenden County. Whereas if you come over here toward LaRue County, it's 56 degrees. So that cold front's already putting in some work on getting those temperatures down. Could it get worse when they merge? No, I don't think so. I think there's just too much rainfall for that to happen. Now, if they had less rainfall and a little bit more space and maybe some sunshine to work with today, yes, they could get worse after they merge. But I think there's just too much rainfall. I mean, there's no window of dry air for these storms to take advantage of anything. So again, my concern for tonight is very minor. I'm cutting out. If I'm cutting out, try going to the YouTube stream, guys. If I'm cutting out, try going to the YouTube stream. Weather Now Kentucky on YouTube as well. I'm not sure what Facebook's on tonight, but I think everyone on YouTube. Am I going in and out on YouTube? You can also try refreshing the stream. Michael, the storm in Franklin, Kentucky is severe warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Spunky on YouTube, thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to your family as well. Again, I'm not going to answer, guys. The answer is going to be the same. I know you guys are concerned and worried, but the answer is genuinely going to be the same no matter where you live. The threat tonight is damaging wind gust and brief heavy rains with this very thin but mean storm line. And then once that passes you, you're all clear. So again, just to reiterate, the answer is going to be the same no matter where you live, whether it's in Moorhead, Kentucky, or Owensboro, or Bowling Green, or Louisville, or Walton, or Lebanon, or Columbia, or Edmonton. Yeah, Faith. Again, the winds are going to be quite rowdy. The rains are going to be quite heavy, but again, to me, this is a minor storm system. Okay, Riley. I'm only getting that the stream is lagging for like 2 or 3 people. So I don't really, and on all the statistics that I'm seeing from my broadcast software, it's not showing any lag. So I'm not really sure what's happening. Thank you, Faith. Thank you, Gerald. Riley's asking how long is the storm lasting in one place? I'm assuming you're talking about the main storm line. It's moving so fast and it's so thin, it's probably less than 15 minutes. Again, the Monticello risk is the same risk as everyone else in the state. Damaging winds possible when that line comes through. Kara, thank you very much for the update. I appreciate your feedback. Okay. I'm going to scan the radar again real quickly, make sure we have no funny business happening. Yeah, I don't really see any rotation or anything here. Again, there may be a slight notch out toward Franklin, but that's so broad. There's nothing of concern there at the moment. Yeah, this still just looks like a long line of some hefty winds, I would say. Yeah, Tara says so. I assume we may be seeing some surrounding Christmas decorations flying around. Yeah, if they didn't bat them down, if they didn't tie them down, yep, they would definitely go flying around. These winds are not playing around. Jason, thank you. How long once they last once they go together? I mean, again, 15, 20 minutes. They're moving at about 60-mile-per-hour, guys. So it's not going to be a long duration type of thing. Now, it will rain most of the night, but as far as the window of severe weather, again, it's short. Again, if the Facebook stream is lagging, that's on Facebook side. So if you would, you can go to the YouTube stream and watch us there. I don't see any lag happening there. Again, for everyone asking about specific locations, here is the forecast graphic that we made yesterday that still applies. It's still going really well. Again, the answer is going to be the same for all of you. And I'm probably going to stop repeating myself here soon. I love you all to death. But again, the answer is genuinely, guys, the same. The only reason I'm saying this is because I keep seeing the same people like spam the same thing. It is genuinely damaging wind threat with that main part of the line. Once that main part of the line is through, you're done. Again, I really don't see any more tornado risk. The line is very obviously producing damaging winds, straight line in a straight line. And again, I'm really not seeing any notch outs anymore, any bowing segments. So again, it really does look like a straight line wind event with some hefty rainfall involved with that as well. But that answer is going to be the same no matter where you live in the state. The winds will be with us until tomorrow morning, guys. Until that cold front gets all the way through, winds will be with us until tomorrow morning. So unfortunately, just got to get used to those for a little bit and you'll be fine. Those two storm lines are inching ever so closer together. This red that you're seeing on your screen is just heavier rainfall. This is just what you're seeing on your screen right now is rainfall rates. There's no hail involved with this. Tanner, again, just expect high winds for a little bit as that storm line gets moving through. Once it gets fully moved through, you will be done. Scan back the radar again to make sure we're not seeing any funny business. Really see anything really happening there. All right. We're looking good so far, guys. We're looking good so far. Again, I just want to kind of calm everyone here, let you know this is a very minor storm system. Again, if this was happening in April or May, guys, no one would be talking about this. All right. I mean, being honest with you here. Again, this is a very minor storm system with some damaging winds possible, which you guys are already seeing out there. And then some heavier rains for a brief period. That's it. Again, we did have a rogue tornado warning out in Western Kentucky a couple of hours ago. That was a very much an outlier. That was not going to be the case the whole line. And as this line continues to move east beyond this point, we're away from the sunshine. We're going away from the better storm field or the better wind fields when it goes further to the east. At this point, this line will start to weaken and then continue to weaken. So again, this is a very minor storm system, one that most of you will sleep through. And again, I don't have any real major concerns here. So those of you that may just now be tuning in here, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning active for Bowling Green, Plano, Woodburn, Franklin, and Auburn down here in southern Kentucky. No other warnings active anywhere else in the state at this point. Yes, Chris. So Chris asked, I live in Brownsville. Do you think it might hit us? Yes, this storm line will go through every city in the state. Every single city. Yes, Caitlin, I've already done that. The severe thunderstorm warning is active for that area. It does have a tornado possible tag on it. But again, I've scanned the radar about every 90 seconds and I have not seen any rotation, any evidence of any rotation happening. Oh, Dylan, I don't really see. What's up, my man, by the way? I don't really see much impact from that at all. Some places may see a quarter-inch dusting. And again, road temperatures should be above freezing. Now we could have a flash freeze if those temperatures go below 25. Again, I don't even see that happening. Like some people get close to 28, 29, but that's not going to do it. And then we quickly warm back up. So again, I really don't have any major concerns tomorrow with the brief snow flurries we may see. Woo! That wind is rocking. Look, I see why you guys are scared because it sounds real bad outside. It just got here to my house from Ratcliffe. Which, by the way, again, I hear the winds already before the storm line is here. So just a heads up, you're going to hear and see the winds a few minutes before that storm line actually gets to you. But again, just want to point out, it's going to sound a lot worse than what it actually is. Sorry about that. How do I get my water bottle? Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate that. What was that? Did that just fall? All right, I had to go check outside. It's not like something fell, but obviously I can't really see out there. It's dark. Yeah, the wind is insane right now in Hardin County. But again, it's gonna. I promise you guys, it's gonna sound a lot worse than what it actually is. Again, guys, want to point out that the risk is the same everywhere that you live tonight. Damaging winds are going to be the main priority, the main concern. Brief, heavy rainfall. Man, that wind is brutal. I gotta see how much that is. I mean, it is windy out there. We got 33 plus 28. What's 33 plus 28? 61. That sounds about right. I mean, that wind is rocking out there. Absolutely rocking. Sorry, I'm having a hard time even hearing myself think. It's just now coming to my city here, Radcliffe, and it is rocking out there. Okay, so I know we're gonna have a lot of new faces in here over the next couple of minutes. I want to reiterate this storm line is pushing through. The only severe warning that we have active right now from the National Weather Service is down here for Bowling Green, Plano, and Franklin, Kentucky. By the way, if we are lagging on Facebook, go ahead and switch to our YouTube stream. There's no lag happening there. Don't know what's going on with the Facebook side. Again, here is your main storm line. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the composite view so we can kind of zoom out and see here. Man, that wind is rocking outside. My goodness. So here's that main storm line here. And again, as this pushes through, it's going to sound really crazy outside. It's going to be about 45 to 55 mile per hour winds. That's shoving out to the east there. And it's going to be over real quickly. It's going to be over real quickly. Again, this storm line is probably only going to last in your areas for about 10 to 15 minutes. I also want to point out that everyone in Kentucky is going to see this storm line. So if you're in the western half, you've already seen it. You're good to go. If you're in the eastern half, you will see the storm line no matter where you are. It's so long, you're going to see the storm line. And that storm line is going to have a damaging wind risk with it. The little bitty tornado risk that we may have had once before looks to be really eliminated at this point. I can't rule it out. A brief spin up may be happening. But again, it looks really, really, really low. Okay, they have trimmed off the backside of that warning down there. Dude, that storm sounds nuts outside. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. But I promise you, it sounds worse than what it is. I promise you guys. Again, I'm just kind of scanning the radar right now, seeing if we see any rotation happening anywhere. Right now, I'm not seeing any rotation anywhere. Again, maybe a very brief notch, a very broad notch out here in Franklin. But again, that's not anything tight enough right now for me to be concerned about. Again, I'm not concerned. You shouldn't be concerned. But yeah, right now, again, no real notches happening. That's good news. It still continues to point towards straight line winds. Yeah. Wind is getting bad in Allen County. Thank you for the update there. I appreciate you. Thank you to everyone that's liking and sharing the broadcast as well. Again, I know we have a lot of new faces in here, so I'll go ahead and pull up our graphic here. Here is the forecasted time frames for when the peak storm activity arrives. And again, it's been on track all day long. So this is something we made yesterday. It's been a really good forecast. So again, please read that. Look at where you're at on the map. Find your time zone to expect your peak activity. And again, remember the peak activity, the peak threat is the damaging wind threat. So again, just keep that in mind there. But again, this will answer a lot of your questions if you just look at this graphic here. If you can't see this graphic real well on the stream, it has been posted to our Facebook and Twitter's accounts, or X, sorry. So again, you can go look at it there, click on it, zoom in. Again, Caitlin, I just checked the velocity about 30 seconds ago, and I didn't see any rotation anywhere. Your wind took your trash can. Yeah, I brought mine up and put them beside the building tonight, so I knew hopefully they don't blow away. Julie, looks like mainly winds and rain right now. The wind is crazy in Lebanon right now. Yeah, the wind, I promise you guys, though, I genuinely promise you, it sounds a lot worse outside than what it actually is, because you're getting very heavy rainfall and you're getting about 45 to 55 mile per hour winds. That combination is going to sound really bad, but in reality, it's very low on the severe scale. So I just want to calm your guys' fears by telling you this is a very minor, very minor. I promise you, it sounds a lot worse than what it actually is. Yeah, Nancy, again, if you live in a trailer, my advice to you is most of you are going to be fine for a night like tonight, but have a backup plan in case a severe warning gets issued. Stephanie, we will keep now the peak wind gust will end with the storm line, but we will keep 25 to 35 mile per hour winds all the way through tomorrow morning. So my advice to you guys is just make friends with the wind because it's not going anywhere. Probably halfway down the road. It's rocking in Franklin, Kentucky. Yeah, I think I saw some 60 mile per hour wind gusts down there. I'm gonna do another radar sweep here. Let's go ahead and check what's happening on the velocities on our winds here. Very clear. Ooh. So this is actually the part of the line that just came through my house. And it is a little bit of a bow there. Not crazy, but does indicate some slightly severe winds may be occurring there. Kind of surprised there may not be a warning there. Okay, so I see that little notch just east of Fort Knox heading toward Shepherdsville there, Lebanon Junction. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's not really anything too concerning at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on it for you guys. Don't you worry. Going through Radcliffe, Rineyville, E-Town, don't really see anything there. Going through Litchfield, don't see anything. Mumfordville, no. Brownsville, no. Park City, Smiths Grove, no. Go check the radar down here. And we're still seeing this little notch toward Franklin, but once again, it's so broad that there's just not much of concern there for me at the moment. It's too wide. I'm going to kind of just keep an eye on this little notch up here. See how this is a lot more of a smaller notch? It's a little more confined. That's one worth keeping an eye on at this point. So again, that's exiting northern Hardin County, heading in toward Bullitt County. We'll keep an eye on that one. Right now, I have no major concerns with that, but it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Yes, I just did a radar sweep. So far, everyone looks like no rotation, just straight line winds right now. For Warren County, Bowling Green, Hartford, yes. Again, everybody right now looks to be straight line winds. I'm doing a radar sweep about every minute and a half. So again, that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Tiffany, it's working its way through Radcliffe right now. I'm gonna check that. Well, we might not be able to see anything because all the lights up there in Louisville. Let's check that HAZ cam up here in Louisville, Kentucky, courtesy of Louisville Metro Emergency Services. Let's take a gander here. It's a little bit too. I love this camera. It's in a great spot for the daytime, but at night, man, you can't see a thing. You cannot see a thing on that camera. But really great job. Really thankful for Louisville Metro Emergency Services investing in their community, getting some cameras up there. Trying to think if I'm like losing my mind. I think I hear a tornado siren. I believe I'm just losing my mind. Let me double check. Yeah, I don't see anything. I think I'm just losing. I think I'm just genuinely losing my mind. Okay. Let's do another radar sweep here. Let's see what's going on the radar. Yeah, still seeing that little notch right there, just east of Hardin County now into central Bullitt County. Again, worth kind of keeping an eye on there. That's a part of the line that hasn't really woken up yet. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Down here toward Franklin, Bowling Green, Plano, where we have that severe warning. Still seeing a little bit of a notch there, but it's getting even wider. So again, not really major concern there. all the way through. I'm just kind of looking all the way through here. Brownsville, Smiths Grove, Park City, Mumfordville, Bonneville. Not seeing anything. Sonora, Big Clifty, not seeing anything. Cecilia, Rineyville, Elizabethtown, not seeing anything. Just that little bitty notch right there. Again, but even that's not all that impressive. So, and then north of that, up here toward northern Kentucky, LaGrange, Crestwood, Bedford, Carrollton, not seeing anything major there as well. So again, I just did a radar sweep. Right now, no rotation anywhere in Kentucky. Barb, it's going to be a lot of heavy rainfall and winds. Tell them to be careful on the interstate. Don't get next to any semis. We did not cover Tennessee, my friend. Raining hard here on the LaRue and Hart County line, but it's not too bad. Thank you for the update, Taryn. Anything in the London Corbin area? Once again, I just want to reiterate, no matter where you're asking about, the damaging wind threat is there for tonight in Kentucky once that main line gets to you. For those of you in Western Kentucky, Owensboro, Litchfield, Hartford, Morgantown, Princeton, Madisonville, Sturgis, Paducah, Murray, Hopkinsville, Oak Grove, that storm line's already passed you. We only cover Kentucky for those of you that may be new in here. We only cover Kentucky. Now, if you live in a county that's maybe bordering Kentucky, I may be able to help you, but I don't know where anything's at in any other state. We devote all of our time to our home state here of Kentucky. That's how it should be. Don't get me started on that. Okay. Whoa. I forgot I can tilt the radar. Now I can see the line at a perpendicular or at a parallel angle. Now we can really see if there's any Boeing segments. Weather-wise, it's so cool. Sometimes I forget about all that they have because they have so much. So yes, it looks sideways on the screen, but I can actually see the line at a correct angle here. No, 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 no. If you're hearing me say no, that's a good thing, by the way. No, 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 no. No, no. Check this on this radar. No, no, no. Yeah, no rotation anywhere at all right now in our state. I will tell you though, turning that radar sideways just gave me like a headache. All right. Let's turn back on our composite view here so you guys take a look at the line fully. Yes, this storm line will begin to weaken here very soon. Here is the expected time of arrival and peak storm activity here on this graphic for you guys to look at. Again, if you cannot see it very clearly, it has been posted to our X and Facebook accounts, so you can go see it there, kind of click on it, zoom in if you need. Misty, I just checked. There are no rotating storms right now. And if there was a rotating storm, it would be more than a special weather statement. Heavy rain and winds in Bowling Green. Sharon, thank you for the update there. We do not cover St. Louis, my friend. Mitch, thank you very much. Thank you guys again for all the shares, the likes, the new followers, the new subscribers, whether on Facebook, YouTube, or X. We're streaming to all three platforms tonight. Thank you guys very much for your support. We appreciate that. By Central Hardin, this wind is blasting. Yeah, the wind. I promise you guys, though, it sounds worse than what it actually is. Lucia's asking, in Lexington, there's something to worry about and be alert about. Yeah, again, I think it's mainly just the damaging winds. And that's the same answer for everyone in the state when that main line gets through there. Dwayne, I got you. Thank you very much. I hope I'm saying that name correctly. Allie, thank you for the update out of Burkesville. Yeah, the wind is howling out there. I got you, Misty. Yes, Caitlin, you're going to be okay. It's just some wind. I want to reiterate to everybody, this is a very minor storm system. I know, listen, when you have heavy rainfall and, 45 to 55 mile per hour winds, it's going to sound a lot worse out there than what it actually is. But I promise you guys, it's wind and rain. All right. This is a story we've read several times in our state, and we'll read several times more before we die. I promise you, this is not a big storm event. I could lie to you to keep you in here to keep my revenue up, but that's not how we roll. Again, this is not a major storm system at all. Again, winds, rains, gonna sound rowdy. Tornado threat is pretty much gone at this point, in my opinion. What little tornado threat there was, And everyone in the state will see this line at some point tonight. Again, look at our graphic here for your expected time frames. Everyone in the state will see this line at some point. So the forecast is the same for everyone. I love when we get the forecast to be the same for everyone. It makes my job a lot easier, right? So the answer to anybody's question about any location is really damaging winds when that main line comes through, brief torrential rainfall, cold air behind it. That's really it, guys. So you guys can all breathe, kind of chill, relax. We got y'all's back. We'll let you know. Hey, we'll let you know if anything changes. Megan, thank you for the update out of Litchfield. Anita, thank you very much for your kind words. Yes, again, the storm line will begin to weaken here soon. Steve, thank you for the update out of Edmonson County. Let's do a little radar sweep here. Let's see what we're looking at. Don't see any rotation down there in southern half of Kentucky. Franklin's good, Woodburn's good, Bowling Green's good, Smith's Grove is good. Horse Cave, Cave City, Park City, all good. Mumfordville, good. Let's check out the northern half here. Bonnieville, Sonora, Hodgenville, E-Town, good. Lebanon Junction, good. Mount Washington, good. Shelbyville, Crestwood, LaGrange, Campbellsburg, good. Maybe a little bit of a notch right here toward Campbellsburg, Kentucky, but in the far northern portion of the state. But again, even that doesn't look all that impressive. This is genuinely a straight line wind event of 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. So as long as you're inside, nothing for you to worry about. Stephanie, it's part of the job. Sylvia, yeah, it does sound pretty rowdy out there. Yeah, Tracy, we're getting there, thankfully. Oh my goodness, that month of November was rough for us. And the first week of December, having COVID, I had COVID and norovirus back to back weeks. That was some of the sickest I've been in a long time. I have genuinely, this might be TMI, but I have genuinely never vomited so aggressively in my life. I blew I had a nosebleed. I blew some blood vessels in my eyes. Wow, look at E-Town right now. Look at the sheets of rain coming down on the camera. Again, so what you're hearing, this is what's happening outside. Just sheets of rain, guys. Just sheets of rain. Very heavy rains, very strong winds. That's going to lead to sounding a lot worse than what it actually is. But this is what's happening outside with this storm line. This is the main storm line here. It's sheets of rain. That's all it is. Is that semi sideways? Did I just see that? Did you guys just see that? That's why you don't get near a semi when the wind's blowing like that. I swear to goodness that silver semi looked like the tail end was fishing out. Did my eyes just deceive me there? I mean, it's gone now, obviously. But it looked like he was fishtailing. Why you slow down. I'm looking, I'm seeing all the brake lights now. Did something happen up there? Did that truck spin out? Oh, they got off the exit there. That's why I see brake lights here though. Seen a lot of brake lights up here. Was I the only one that saw it? Look at all the brake lights starting to show up. I'm telling you, I think that semi. I'll have to go back on the stream later on and try to see. I think that semi was spinning out. Again, this is the I-65 camera in Elizabethtown. Thank you to the city of E-Town for allowing us access to this camera. Looking south. Was I the only one that saw that? It looked like he was fishtailing. And now we're seeing all these brake lights starting to pop up. Whoa. Okay, that was just a glitch on the camera. I thought we saw a lightning strike there. A lot of water. It is. Very heavy rainfalls. And it's been raining most of the day for a lot of you. The water's adding up. I don't really have any major concerns about flash flooding. The water's definitely going to add up. John, I'm sorry to hear about that in Glasgow. All right. Let's do a radar scan. I guess I was the only one that saw that. I'll have to go back on the stream later on after I'm done and see if I can go back and see it. You saw it too? Okay. I was about to say, I know I could not have been the only one that saw that. Cass, I hope I'm saying that name correctly. Thank you very much for those kind words on YouTube. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that, my friend. Okay. So they're going to allow this warning to expire in Bowling Green, Plano, and Franklin. So that storm has now weakened enough to allow that warning to expire, which I agree with. It's been weak for a while here. So for those folks in Warren County down toward Franklin and Scottsville, that warning is going to be allowed to be expired. So no severe warnings active now in the state. No real rotation anywhere. This is very clearly, guys. You can see it as clear as I can. This doesn't take a forecaster or a meteorologist to figure out. Look at the red versus green. It's in a straight, clean line. That's straight line wind damage, okay, or straight line wind gust. All right. There's no real rotation happening anywhere up here in the northern half of the state. Let's go ahead and take a look there toward Carrollton, LaGrange, Mount Washington. Again, straight line winds up there as well. You're not really seeing a whole lot. There is one little bulge out here in Bullitt County, but it's so little. It's not really anything to really be concerned with there. Drew, I do not believe so. Again, most of the rain's going to fall while it's above freezing. We may have some snow showers tomorrow. Very weak, very hit and miss snow showers tomorrow morning, between about 3 to 7 a.m. Temperatures only get down to about 29 to 30 degrees, so you're not really having a flash freeze concern, thankfully. So to me, no, I don't really see any real freeze concerns. There will not be any tornado activity in London. No, I can't express this enough. This is not a tornado system, guys. Melanie, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Again, for those of you asking about specific locations and cities, here is our graphic that we made for our forecast here. Still seems to be pretty much on point at this point. Again, mainly a wind gust event with some heavy rainfall involved. Tornado odds look to be, you might have a better shot at hitting the Powerball. Genuinely, guys. This is not a storm system to freak out about. As long as you're inside, not out traveling next to semis that we see fishtailing out on I-65 right now in E-Town. Again, there's not a major concern. Cass, thank you for becoming a member on YouTube, showing that extra level of support. I appreciate that. And I do want to reiterate that this is going to sound a lot worse outside than what it actually is. So what you're hearing outside is just the heavy rainfall mixed with those 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. That's going to create a loud environment. That's going to sound a lot worse than what it actually is outside. I promise you. All right, Woogie, we're going to be seeing you. I'm going to go ahead and ban that guy. I don't know how many times I got to tell him we don't cover St. Louis. We don't cover St. We only cover Kentucky, guys. That's all we will ever cover. I got you, D. I understand why there's a lot of anxiety out there, but my job tonight is to calm you guys down because, again, this is not a major event. And at this point, over the next couple of hours, we should start to see this line begin to weaken. Again, we're at 8 o'clock Eastern time. The temperatures are going down. Sun's been gone for a couple of hours at this point. Again, as this storm line goes more to the east, it's running away from the better wind energy that we've been talking about. So again, that's another mitigating factor. So again, we should over time, over the next hour or so, start to see this line begin to just be a lot of rain and winds. And that's really all it's been anyway, but even less of an extent here very soon. Thank you guys for all your kind words. All right, at this point, since that warning's gonna be allowed to expire there, and I'm also just not, let me do one final radar sweep so I can make sure you guys are still good. I don't see anything anywhere. Maybe a little bit of a notch toward Hodgenville, but again, that's so narrow. That's not really anything to really concern about. Nothing there. Let's check northern Kentucky here. Nothing there as well. Okay, so again, I'm not really seeing anything at this point. Obviously, you guys know what's coming at this point. Damaging winds, heavy rainfall. So again, that's kind of what we're looking at. At this point, I don't really see any reason for us to be live. Again, there's no imminent threat, in my opinion. And we only go live on alert days when there's imminent threat. So you guys know when we're live, it means business. All right. So with that said, I'll continue to keep you guys updated through post. If an imminent threat does arise, of course, we will be back on broadcast here with you. But I'll keep you guys updated through post on Twitter and Facebook. So make sure you go check out those. But really, guys, not a big deal. Not a big deal. I promise you. All right, I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky. Thank you so much for tuning into our broadcast. Until next time, stay safe, friends.